all got your breakfast, I've got mine. Good morning and welcome to Beer and Breakfast, the Sheffield United breakfast show. Begin your matchday build-up here on the Shoreham View. Oh God, it's an hard time to be a Blade at the minute, isn't it? But we wake up every single morning, somehow clinging to some optimism that something will change and this season will turn around and become the most miraculous of greatest skate. The more I say it, the less believable it sounds. I'm losing all enthusiasm. I'm losing it. It's all going down. Enthusiasm going in. If you do enjoy this video and do enjoy the content we make, please subscribe to the channel. All you have to do, go down below, click that little subscribe button, hit the little bell notification, and you're good and you're ready to go. And you'll never miss an upload. As always here on Beer and Breakfast, we're going to have both teams' managers giving their pre-match press conferences, along with the predicted lineups and the team news. We've got a new feature coming up, I'll introduce that a little bit later on, including a guest from a certain other channel. And before we get into any of that, let's kick things off by taking a bit of a closer look at our opponents for today in By the Numbers. See there, Liverpool, they're not in good form, are they? I don't know if everybody's read Roy's View yet. If you haven't, what have you been playing at? Go look at it now. They're as pessimistic as anybody. You can tell that they don't have many fans of their own and they all come from these glory grabber places because it's just, they're top half at league, they're Premier League champions, they've got, yeah, they have got a lot of injuries. They're worse than us. Jesus Christ, you can tell they're not in it for the love, like we are. Let's be face it, we're far from a glory club, us.
Random Scouse Fact!
The very first Liverpool FC match only attracted 100 local fans, despite the ground holding 20,000. To be fair, they still only attract 100 local fans, let's come from fucking abroad.
Random Scouse Fact!
Anyway, that's enough moaning. Let's go and see what the managers had to say and look at predicted lineups.
Yeah, it seems that way this year that the injuries have come really in a place where we've been at our best over the last, well, we have to have a structure to play from, but especially going to the Premier League, settled, consistent side, and we've talked about the back eight, whether it's the back three and the five ahead of them, or however you want to measure it up. But one of the best defensive records last year, as we talked about, allows you to get a foothold in the game and take those opportunities, which we did last year, to not take them this year. The other way, obviously, has been hugely disappointing. We've not had too many injuries, big injuries to the boys at the top of the pitch. Obviously, Ollie Mack has had his shoulder injury. Lees has had his issues. The skipper obviously had the infection, and obviously Dave McGoldrick's had some issues as well. So just to, as I said, add 3 players that have not been affected by injury and illness all season is going to is a tough situation. And I've got to say as well, you know, you might talk about what issues that were talked about at the start of the season about the amount of games. We've got the same muscle injuries as we had last year to this year, and we were fine and grateful that we had a healthy record. So obviously off the back of that, you know, I would say sort of 80 and 90% of our injuries have been impact injuries that really, like the impact on Jayden Bogle, the in control challenge that I was told from the assessment that I get back given to me, in control, not reckless challenge by the goalkeeper on Jayden Bogle has put him out for 2 weeks. And as I said afterwards, delighted when you look at that the boy isn't out for a bigger period from that. So yeah, another impact injury, which goes along with the other injuries that we've had. You know, we're not looking beyond Liverpool on Sunday night. That's been our focus in the last 2 or 3 days. Obviously after the disappointment at the weekend. I'm not really interested in what happens to other clubs. We'll always believe and we'll always be positive, and I'm a positive manager, as I've said, and you know, we believe that we can win games of football, as I've talked about. We believe that, as David McGoldrick has said, that we can win Sunday. Realistically, we've got to play extremely well and take those chances, as we've talked about, as we have done in our time in the Premier League, to get any sort of result, and we're going to have to do that regardless of what nonsense people will say about Liverpool or anything else. They've got an incredible talented group of players. Whoever they put out, they've got an incredibly talented academy, whoever they draft in, and they'll cope with injuries in the best way possible for themselves. And an incredibly talented manager that's been hugely successful right away for his career. And we're going to have to produce another really good performance like the ones that we did at Old Trafford and the Etihad a couple of weeks ago. We're going to have to produce our best performance or performances right the way through now to pick up any sort of results, and no change or difference at the weekend. Yeah, listen, I can't come on and say that it hasn't affected myself, my staff, my players, and the general football club. It has affected us in a way that I can only comment on, which is a huge effect it has on us. And you know, I didn't start the game. I didn't go through my managerial and coaching sort of early part education and playing career. Even though I haven't played, I have played in front of quite small crowds and managed in front of quite small crowds. Sometimes a little bit more damaging to you, because you can hear every comment and every word said about you. Majority of the time bad instead of good. But we didn't get involved in the game to play in front of empty stadiums. And from my point of view, yeah, it has. And I don't think I can be criticised too much, or any football manager can be criticised too much, or any player can be criticised too much by saying that it hasn't affected them. I think it'd be pretty harsh for people to say, well, you're still getting paid, it's your obligation and it's your responsibility to go out there and keep the game going. They have done that. Everybody at the highest level, to keep the game going, to give people something to watch and hope and belief. But I don't think there should be too much criticism of anybody if they talk to us as human beings, as football people, to criticise us if we talk about how it has affected and how we have missed people back in the grounds, and most importantly back in beautiful downtown Bramall Lane. I've got nothing but admiration for Jurgen. He's a top class manager. You know, that's what happens. People talk and things get said, and you know, if I was precious about what people said right the way through, then I wouldn't be doing this job. People in the media I took notice of what the majority have said. Through my time as a manager, then I don't think I'll be sat here, and I think that'll be the same for the manager of Liverpool. He's an incredibly talented manager. He's a winner. We all try to win, and he's done that in incredible fashion. And eat at the moment or whatever. If it was personal, I didn't take it personal, and I've moved on. I've got, obviously, for me to worry about stuff like that is way down the pecking list.
Diogo trained now twice with the team. Looks very good, but was long term out. So we have to see what we can do with that. But in training, he looks really promising. Fab was not yet with the team. That can happen. I think tomorrow. If I'm 100% right, he will has his first session with the team, and same for James Milner. That's it. All the others are long term, right? Yeah. Yes, of course it's positive, but it's not the only positive. But it's very positive that Diogo is back after a long time. Most of the others who are out for a long time, we will not see anymore on the training pitch until the end of the season. So yes, it's very positive, and the way he came back in training is very positive. So we just have to make a decision about what makes sense for him, when does it make sense for him, and all these kind of things. But very positive. But it's not the only positive. How I said, as a professional football player, you always have to, and you do that in good times, like you do that in lesser good times. You have to focus in a moment when you're on the training pitch. You have to focus on training, and that's a moment when you have to enjoy training as well. I mean, when the things around for an hour and a half or a little bit longer should not be influential. That's what we all learn from early in our in our childhood, if you want, and that's what we do. But around, some things are obviously more difficult to take, but we take them as well, and we will make sure that we are ready for a fight again at the weekend. So yes, it's not the best atmosphere we ever had, but there's nothing in between us, so that's all fine. We all agree on the things we have to do, but we have good moments as well. It's a very challenging time for this squad, you can imagine, for different reasons, and but that's how it is in these times. You have to show your real face, and that's what the boys do. We during the week we work hard, we looking forward for the next game, next chance for us to turn it around, to win a football game, and all these kind of things. That's all what we are thinking about, and you need some positivity for that. It's not so easy in these moments. Of course, it's not that everything is like clicking and these kind of things, but again, I'm responsible for the atmosphere as well and for the mood as well, and I'm in a good mood because I'm not happy about the situation, but I said it before, this is a massive challenge, and a challenge you can face in different ways, and I prefer to face it in a positive way. So because I see a lot of good things in this team, I see a lot of promising things in our performances. We know we don't have results, and we have to change things, that's clear as well, but we cannot change things without keeping the good things as well. So, and that's what we are trying, and so we try to influence as much as we can, and the rest we have to accept. That it's not an easy situation is clear, but I'm pretty sure there are worse situations out there in the world than ours, so we have a positive atmosphere. Like with other Premier League managers, so we don't have contact apart from the game days, so nothing to worry about. I had a similar situation with Mainz years ago when we got relegated from the Bundesliga, and nobody had an idea. Nobody in the club had an idea to replace me. So they gave me the job to try it again. That's what I did, and I think that's not done and dusted yet, so nothing is decided. So Sheffield has still the chance, obviously, to stay in the league, but that they are not in doubt about Chris is obviously because of the quality Chris is delivering, and so that's yeah, you tell me. Is it normal? I don't know. But if you have a longer story together, I think it should be normal.
If you look at both predicted lineups and you look at the team news, you can see why both teams have had a bit of a fall from grace. Yeah, Liverpool. Is it a fall from grace? Yeah, it is, because they were champions and they were so good last season. Now they've shown that they do have a soft underbelly you can go for once that defence has gone. But we've got that same problem. It's just ours is on a much worse scale. Theirs is on a bigger scale. Ours is more of a quality scale. With the players that we've got missing, we just can't compete. But you never know, is the words I keep hearing. But we do know, and we do know what's going to happen. We're going to lose, but we're going to watch it anyway. So fans could be allowed back in stadiums by the end of the season. The Premier League have said that they may block this due to it being, what was their exact words? Ruining the integrity of the game. Integrity of the game? Are the Premier League taking the piss? When have they ever cared about the integrity of the game? Didn't fucking think that when they put Brighton fans in there when we played them. Did they? Bastards. For this new feature, we're going to look at why Blades can't wait to get back to Bramall Lane. And this first ever edition, we're going to be focusing on one of my favourite people.
I'm Hal, I'm the co-host of the Chef United Way. My first match at the Lane was January 1997. It was a 3-2 defeat to Wolves. Steve Bull scored in the last minute. And before you have a go at me, I grew up and lived abroad, so it took a long time to go to my first game. The first thing I do on a match day morning is decide which of my, feels like hundreds of shirts, I'm actually going to wear. Never owned a single one, so just put it on. Pre-kickoff routine for me, it's always depended on where I've lived. I've lived in so many different places, so at the moment it is get up very early because I live a long way away from beautiful downtown Bramall Lane. Drive to my parents' house, they also live a long way away, and then Dad and I jump in the car together and then we drive another 3 hours and usually arrive just in time for kickoff. I've sat everywhere except that corner bit by the Kop. When I had a season ticket, of course we don't have them this season, I was on what I always call the Labour stand, I'm it's called these days, and I had a season ticket on the Kop for about 10 years as well. I changed it after we got relegated in 06-07 from the Premier League. When the teams come out, I still get that same excited, giddy feeling I got when I was a little boy. It's that tingle in the stomach. It's you never know what's going to happen, even if you're playing Liverpool or Colchester, it's the same thing. I can't wait to be back in the ground because it's the time I get to spend with my dad. It's our thing.
We've all got our own reasons why we want to get back to Bramall Lane. It's just home, isn't it? We all want to be back home, and I think that's the most important thing. Football without fans is absolutely nothing. I've hated this period of being an armchair fan because it's not in me, it's not my nature. I suppose if I supported a top 6 side or anything like that, I could bear with it, but I can't. It's not us, it's not what real football fans are about. And the sooner we can get back to real football with fans in the ground, the better.
Random Scouse Fact!
Michael Stengard, a new goalkeeper signed from abroad, once dislocated his shoulder before even playing a match, setting up an ironing board.
Random Scouse Fact!
Score prediction. 5-0 to United! Fuck off, we're going to lose 1-0. Of course we're going to lose 1-0. We always lose fucking 1-0. Okay, let's look back at yesterday's results, today's fixtures, and what else is coming up.
Taking a look at yesterday's results, Man City carry on their dominance with a 2-1 win over West Ham. West Brom fucking beat Brighton. Jesus Christ. Leeds lost, always a bonus. Well done Villa, never thought I'd say that. And of course the Man United hype train is finally derailed fully as they could only draw 1-1 with Wolves. Today's fixtures at 12 o'clock we've got Crystal Palace taking on Fulham as well as Leicester taking on Arsenal. Tottenham versus Burnley kicks off at 2 o'clock. Chelsea take on Man United at 4:30. And the deeply enthralling, end-to-end, exciting highlight of the day, which will see two evenly matched behemoths clash. I can't keep this shit up. We're playing Liverpool and we're going to get bummed. Out now over on Roy's View. He's got the pre-match comments from the Liverpool fans. Interesting reading this week. They seem to be really pessimistic. Tomorrow, of course, after the game, we'll have Hair of the Dog, including our, should we call it a light-hearted match reaction? Yeah, light-hearted sounds better than sarcastic as fuck. And as usual, over on the Sheffield United way, Nick and Hal will be hosting the live watch-along. Always a good view. Be sure to check it out. So after the game, as usual, Roy will be gathering all the post-match comments from the Liverpool fans. Let's hope it makes better reading than last time. Coming soon here on the Show and View, we've got the Bob Booker podcast. It was really great speaking to Bob, such a good bloke. We can't wait to bring that to you. Out now on the Sheffield United way, their Goose Ulenbeek podcast is out. Really, really interesting. Go watch that. Honestly, you won't regret it. And of course, there's all the great Sheffield United podcasts. You've got Tufty Club. Their discussions are random and hilarious. You've got Blades Pod, as we have a cathartic look at some past terrible games to make us feel slightly better about what we're watching right now. And Four Blades in a Pub, you have to go back to their library. They've got some really memorable podcasts with some great guests and well worth a listen. All three great podcasts.
Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed that. Up the Blades, and let's have some more optimism.